With all the big calls on all the big races, you know it's time for another What a Shout. Welcome back from somewhere in the capital on a Friday morning, brought to you by our sponsors, Bet365. Dave Orton, thrilled to be back in the seat with you for another Please Weather Lords bumper weekend of action. Let's just get in this disclaimer here and now. We film this on a Friday morning, as mentioned. Cheltenham, noon Friday. The bells will toll. Please, can we get this Saturday card on? If not, there is a contingency with the BHA. It'll be all the same runners. There won't be any extra. There'll be nons, if anything. It will move to Sunday service. But we're going to preview it as if it's going ahead. It was milder than expected, we're hearing from Prestbury Park. Like I say, cross everything you got. Don't forget, stick up that thumb as well. Like and subscribe, comment and share. YouTube is the place to check us out. Anything you want on Twitter as well. Hashtag What a Shout. Right, before we go down the paddle and see what's coming your way, a reminder. The best racing app just got better. There it is. Look, download our new app. You can do that on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Just go to the App Store. It takes 30 seconds and it's free. Daily tips from our all-star lineup. Kills is there, look. You can get Robbie Wilders coming your way as well. All the SPs, everything you want. We're going to build on it big time in 2023. The aforementioned Andy Postman joins us back.
He's back, baby.
And you are back,
I'm
baby.
feeling awfully bullish this weekend.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely fantastic. You've put up a couple in the week as well. Don't tell us what they are.
I wouldn't know, but yeah, quite excited. Got a hell of a lot of fancies, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this is your time of year, really, isn't it? I know you love your fat racing as well, but the Dublin Racing Festival coming up.
Yeah,
Cheltenham on the horizon.
That'd be good, yeah. Starting to getting full swing now. I think this is probably the best card of the season. I think it's fair to say at Cheltenham. Nine races.
Yeah, with the Clarence house, of course, that switches over. Half prize money, but fair play to Cheltenham for getting it on. Hopefully on Saturday, the big matchup is there. The big matchup to the big man himself up in Stoke. It's Pat Cooney.
Yes, and looking forward to a terrific weekend. Cheltenham and Doncaster. We desperately need this Cheltenham meeting to be on, don't they? Because trainers are going to be really scratching their heads if it doesn't go ahead. But fingers crossed we get rewarded.
Yeah, Pat, you'll be pulling out the drive then in the motor. Are you going to turn left for Cheltenham or right for Donny? Which way's it going?
As things stand at the moment, I'm Cheltenham bound.
All right, good stuff. Happy days then. Look, let's try and get it on. Let's see what we have got coming up for you. We dial into Lambourne, Cheltenham Festival winning trainer. It's going really well at the moment for Jamie Snowden, who's got one of the most fancied runners anywhere in the land running on Saturday. Don't miss that. We'll be giving you 5 big race previews, zooming into Cheltenham, but also the previous race at Donny will be a lovely treat as well. Before those all-important weekend winners. Right then, viewers, let's dial into Lambourne. Delighted to say that we can go down 32 winners on the board for the season. Cheltenham Festival winning trainer, all going swimmingly for Jamie Snowden. A belated Happy New Year, Jamie.
Hi, thanks very much. Happy New Year to you guys too.
All going well then, Jamie, as ever. We get excited when you get a horse that racks up a couple of wins. And before we look at your 4 weekend intended runners, fingers crossed, it all goes ahead. Let's have a look back at what's happened so far this season. And in the week, Gitmaker, I think that's how we pronounce him, isn't it? I asked you off air what the pronunciation is. You said he was a lovely git. Well, punters certainly think he is.
Well, listen, you can all call him what you want to call him, but certainly at home we all call him the git.
And what a picturesque background. Now, we've had a couple of connection issues so far with Jamie, but I have to say he's absolutely nailed it. He was a top amateur rider. He's now a top trainer. And what are we going to do with Colonel Harry, who we saw finishing 4th in the Grade 1 Tolworth? What a beautiful looking horse he is. I'm not blowing smoke here. He's one of the best looking horses I've seen all season.
You're very kind. Yeah, no, listen, he's a lovely horse. He won a novice hurdle before going to down. And then obviously ran a very good race in the Tolworth when he was 4th. He jumped slightly out to his left that day. So we're going to put him probably on a left-handed track. We might go to Newcastle next week or Chepstow, try and defy a penalty. And then we might think about that Grade 2 up at Kelso in early March.
We don't mind it when they jump left if they jump one way, let's face it. People will definitely think I'm blowing smoke now because I wonder whether we might be able to double our Cheltenham Festival winning tally for the yard this season because second in the Challo was You Wear It Well to Hermes Allen. Now, if people think out there we've seen the Ballymore winner, and a lot of people do, definitely think he's going to see off the Irish. A great majority of punters. She ran an absolute stormer, clear second best.
Yeah, she did. She ran a cracker. Obviously, she won a bumper and a couple of novice hurdles before that fairly easily. Pretty unexposed. It's the first time stepping up in trip. She was a little bit keen early on, so Gavin had to sort of anchor out the back. But she crept through it nicely and saw the race out well. Obviously, it was a long way back to the third horse, and everyone thinks her Stallions the next coming. So listen, she's a nice mare, and one to look forward to. We'll probably go to the Jane Seymour at Sandown with her, the grade 2.5 miles that day. And then obviously she'll have a few entries in at Cheltenham. I'll put her in the 2 mile mares novice. She's in the Ballymore, and she's obviously in the Albert Bartlett as well. So we'll keep the options open with her.
Isn't she exciting for Chips Keswick, of course, one of your chief patrons out there. Now that is fantastic. Let's just concentrate on her a little bit. The Jane Seymour, that's what Love Envoy won last year, isn't it? Before, of course, going on and seeing off the Irish.
Yeah, that's right. We won it the year before with Anything for Love for the Fox team, and yeah, it's a nice race. Obviously, Love Envoy won it last year, and it's a smashing race, 2.5 miles, soft ground. That should be well up at street road.
And next month, you might be having a crack at the Betfair Hurdle with Hardy DeSoy, who's reinvented himself somewhat as a hurdler this year and really toughed it out last time.
Yeah, he really did. He was a very good novice chaser last year, where he utilised his 4-year-old weight for age allowance, but his jumping offences was a little bit iffy. So we were always going to put him back over hurdles this year, and 2 miles on soft ground is where we always wanted going, and it came right at Sandown last 10 days ago, and it decent handicap. So the Betfair looks the obvious race, providing it is soft ground, and if he creeps in at the bottom of the weights, really.
Yeah, it's a different race this time around because of the 4 runs, isn't it? So you're not going to bump into like a Soaring Glory potentially or anything like that. We wish you well with him. Stop blowing smoke, Orton, everyone I can hear out there says. Concentrate on what's running, of course, this weekend. Which one should we go to first, Jamie? We're hoping, of course, that Cheltenham makes it on Saturday. If not, we're pretty certain it's going to be on the Sunday. And you've got a couple of very interesting runners there, starting with That's All Right Gino, who, of course, has won at the track as a novice hurdler.
Yeah, he was a good novice hurdler. He won a couple of times. He's slightly disappointed when we did step him up into graded company. But he's been a progressive novice chaser over 2 miles this year. He won very nicely at Cheltenham, ran a good race at the Hennessy meeting, and then or the Labrooks, or whatever it is now, the Coral meeting. Ran very well up at Doncaster the last day. That was over 2 miles. We're very keen to go up and trip with him. We just feel that off his handicap mark, we probably achieve what we're going to achieve over 2 miles, and the step up and trip probably looked the right way to go. He probably wouldn't want the ground too deep, so hopefully it's not too sticky and revolting and gluey. But if it is okay, then he's got a fairly decent chance.
Listen, horses can finish 8th in this historically and go and win at the Cheltenham Festival, so we wish you luck with him. And he's got a bit of a following, isn't he, that chap? A very interesting run. I mean, the cross-country, delighted to see the cross-country coming back finally this season. Legends Ride, who finished 3rd in Mare's company. All right, it was a lower grade, but she travelled really well off top weight that day. This is an interesting call. I think 9 out of 10 people would have expected you to keep following that route. Why switch?
She's a bit of a tricky mare. She's certainly got her own ideas about life. She's been a decent mare. She's won 5 times. She's picked up black type in a bumper at Cheltenham, and also over fences at Market Raisin. So she's going to be improved there. We're going to cover her certainly in the spring. But at the moment, we thought, listen, let's try and give something like this a bit of a chance. If it works, then who knows where the spring might take us. We could always get her in foal and perhaps run her in foal and run her in some decent staying handicap chase with spring. But let's see whether she takes this and move forward from there.
Great stuff. Right, let's zoom up to the town moor at Donny then, because in the River Don up there, which is usually what we consider to be an Albert Bartlett trial, you've got quite an interesting horse called Park This One, which is interestingly named, won 2 of his last 3, and you're getting a bit of an affinity with Catterick, aren't you? Because he won there last time out.
He did, yeah. He obviously he won a bumper last season at Exeter. He's a proper staying horse. He won at Uttoxeter at the start of this season. He ran very, very well in the Grade 2 at Sandown in the winning hurdle. Defied a penalty last time. This is his first time up to 3 miles. But that would definitely suit him. Obviously, it's a good race, and it's a very deep race and very competitive. He's got to step forward again, but there's no reason why he can't run a decent race to perhaps be placed.
Oh, okay, that's him then. We wish you luck with him. Unexposed novice going up in trip then, and you can see some shocks in that race, so watch out, punters for the price with Bet365. All right, let's go to the feature race at Doncaster. It is the Sky Bet Chase, of course, and this is something of an interesting call because we're wondering what his trip is. He's the Paddy Power Gold Cup winner, that we do know. It's Garlaw, and it's fair to say that form has worked out rather pleasingly.
Yeah, it has worked out very well. Obviously, winning the Paddy Power was definitely the aim with him this year. He came back on the back of a year and a half absence. He was a very decent novice chaser before that, and the Paddy Power was always the plan going forwards. And thankfully, we got a nice prep run into them. There was only 3 weeks between the prep run and the Paddy Power, so he was always going to have a bit of a break on the back of it. And he won the Paddy Power through stamina. He definitely stayed on all the way up the hill. And we were very keen to go up and trip. We were going to go to Ascot last weekend for a 2 mile 5 handicap, but this was our second choice. And actually 3 miles around Doncaster hopefully should suit him nicely.
Jamie, it's always a pleasure talking to you. He's definitely the stable star, isn't he? So if he wins that tomorrow, he's got 2 entries at the Cheltenham Festival that I can see. Will it be the biggie?
Listen, he's got to he's got to improve. He's got to improve for the step up and trip. He's got to prove he can carry top weight, 12 stone. But obviously, good horses can do it, and hopefully, he is a good horse. We'll find out whether he's a graded horse in the handicap tomorrow, I suppose. You look at the likes of Imperial Commander. He won the Paddy Power, then he won the Ryanair that year and the Gold Cup the year after. So we'll take it step by step. And we'll see where we go. But let's see whether he stays first and carry the top weight at Doncaster on Saturday.
As long as he comes back in one piece, that's the main thing. The horses are happy, the horses are healthy. I'll tell you what, you must have done some drills in the army over your time, Major Snowden, but holding this phone on What a Shout is probably the pinnacle of them, isn't it? You've done the sterling job.
That's right. I'm starting to quiver a little bit.
On that front, we shall let you go. Jamie, all the best for this weekend. We look forward to watching Garlaw, but also the rest of the stable stars. Good luck with you, Wear It Well, and the rest of 2023.
That's very kind. Thanks very much.
Well, wasn't that a treat? And fair play to Jamie. Honestly, we had a couple of gremlins in the system there. He went outside, and he's such a good guy, isn't he? Get your comments in below. What your favourite Snowden horse is out there? Who's done you a touch? Were you with Git Maker in the week, or will you be with You Wear It Well? We Wear It Well is what she called her. Someone wears it well. Whatever she does, this mare, Pat. What price is she for the mare's novice? Because I genuinely think we're going to win that again with her.
Yeah, she's currently 14-1 at the moment, Dave, and the favourite for that is Lucia of Nikki Henderson, who impressed everybody when she won at Newbury on her reappearance. Second in is Ashrow Diamond, the Irish mare, but yeah, you listen to the connections of You Wear It Well, you can certainly make a case out for her, can't you, at double-figure prices?
I've just teed you up your next anti-postman. If you want it, you can have it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be nicking that one just yet, Matt.
She finished a clear second best to Hermes Allen. All right, she's going to go and win the Jane Seymour if she goes there.
Yeah.
He's won it 2 years ago. She'll halve in price. Love Envoy did that last year. Lucia's on the sick list at the minute. This is a massive price.
It's an interesting wager, yeah. It's not one I've considered before now, but I would have thought there'd be a couple of Mullins that have probably more talent. But
Look, this is becoming our race, all right? This is becoming our race. It's like when we go to the Breeders' Cup, it's becoming the new European turf, all right?
Interesting.
When I say us, of course, it's domestically. All right, OK, let's see what Robbie fancies wagering on Saturday. Cheltenham, please, Lord Beyond, because the 120 serves up a real treat. It's the first race on terrestrial television. It is the rescheduled Clarence House. And we've got more runners, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 6 runners in the race now, and we're all looking for value, aren't we? I think there's no doubt Editor Jajit's connections have had the best bet out of this. Only cost a couple of grand to supplement. He's going to get near enough 10 grand for being third, near enough 5 grand for being fourth, and if he's fifth, he's going to get 2 grand back. So they've had the best bet out of all of them, really. And you look at Editor Jajit, adds another dimension to the race now, doesn't it? A week ago, we were saying Amarillo Sky would be the front runner. Well, he's a front runner. Editor Jajit's a front runner based on his Kempton win. Inorgamain, well, he likes to go forward as well. So maybe the race sets up well for Edwardstone. Let those 3 get on with it, sit off a fast run race and pounce late. I just spent all last week thinking, just keep it simple. Inorgamain's a better horse. He's £6 higher rated than Edwardstone. But add another front runner into the equation, and I think that has to favour Edwardstone. So I'm leaning towards him at his roundabout 2-1, then Inorgamain's odds on 2-1 on.
This is a cracker, isn't it, guys? Because we've got the Arkle winner for last season versus the Champion Chase winner. It was Ascot's loss, of course, but they're both course winners, of course. We've got the second to Energumene as well, in Funambul de Civilar. And Editor G, what's not to love about the Going Horse Stable? Absolutely right, Pat's nailed that one. He probably will be the hare, and he's mustered around there on his day.
Well, as Pat alluded to, there is plenty of pace. I'm glad this race has switched to Cheltenham because we're going to have a much better spectacle than if it was at Ascot with only 3 runners. Editor de Geet is obviously interesting. He's obviously well suited by Cheltenham. Load of pace in the race. Energumene can go forward. Amarillo Sky could also go. I'm interested by him actually. Potentially, I'm trying to look for a bet here. I think Edwards. Energumene will probably win, but I don't want to advise backing him at 1-2. I was thinking maybe Amarillo Sky without Edwardstone and Energumene. I don't think Editor de Geet is really that much better than Amarillo Sky, to be honest.
It's just good to have him in there, is it? Because we know I'm not suggesting that we'd have a 40-run race because Energumene, we know he was a tank, wasn't he, in his early days before the champion chase. But Pat, there will be a strong without market here, surely.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll probably be betting without the front 2 as well. So if you think Editor de Geet's going to, he's going to bowl along in front, if they're going to try to win the race, that's going to be difficult. You might just get some of these bigger price ones picking up the pieces. So it's a fascinating race from a tactical point of view if you're sitting wanting to play other markets. But without the front 2 is going to be a lively market, I think.
A real treat. I won't be able to bet in the race, but I will be cheering for Edwardstone. I will. Not just from a domestic point of view, because we love Energumene, but I just think he's...
Sure, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
A mini champion chase at Cheltenham before the Cheltenham Festival. Isn't this what we've been working towards?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
I'm just so... Editor de Geet curses me, because I backed him without Edwardstone at Kempton.
Oh, did you?
So
and he goes he
won at 28-1.
Okay.
So now the without markets are sort of like putting me off a little bit.
So it was a half cheer.
Yeah, a little
Yay.
bit. Yeah, it's a bit bittersweet, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Money's money, Wilders. Absolutely.
True.
All right. And now there's a great handicap at 150 where they all go and Il Renato. If they hold on to it a bit longer, Jed Mason, what a chance he's got. But it's the 220 we go to next. We've gone from the champion chases up towards the Gold Cup division in the Cotswold chase, Pat.
Yeah, favourite at the moment is Protectorat, last seen winning at Haydock in tremendous style. The cynic in you thinks, yeah, but what did he beat that day? I know it was a spectacular performance. The Irish favourite didn't turn up, really. But when you watch the race again, he was the winner a long, long way out, and it was a Grade 1 race. He did win by 1,000,000 miles. This was always going to be the target to come here. He's best fresh. That was 10 weeks ago. I think he's on balance the one to beat, but it won't be easy. Noble Yates is only rated £3 behind him. And I thought he was impressive last time as well. But, currently it's 13-8 and 2-1. And I'm trying to think, I suppose one of those 2 will win it. Frodon, we all love him, but he's going to make the pace. Ahoy Senor, he's just one of these horses that just doesn't go away with the public. People always think, yeah, he'll come good eventually. But maybe Frodon bowling along in front is going to set the race up nicely for him. I keep looking at Dussard, the outsider of the party. He had an entry in the Sky Bet Chase of a marker 155. Connections have declined that, and they've come here. He's a talented horse. I just struggle to fancy him. I keep coming back to Protectorat just on the basis, keeping it nice and simple. He's the best horse in the race, but it won't be easy.
Come on, Pat, tip.
Protectorat, but I'm going to draw a ring round Dussard, and if he's a double figure price on the day, he'll carry a few quid of mine.
Right. Now, they say that people work in tandem together the more they get to know each other, and great minds, or fools seldom differ, you decide, because this is the first anti-postman advice in the start of the week.
Myself and Pat are very much sing from the same hymn sheet here, because I'm very intrigued by Dussard. When I was looking at this at the start of the week, we should probably talk about the ground actually, because I was thinking it was going to be sort of good soft at the start of it. It still is soft. I'm hoping that'll go good soft, but because we know Dussard loves it with a bit of good in the ground. When I looked at the start of the week, Sans Russian was half the price. He's about 6-1. Dussard was 12s. But Dussard gave him £2 a beating at Ayr, and I thought he beat him fair and square there. He won with a bit in the tank. I think he's been forgotten about a bit because he sort of flopped in his comeback in a handicap hurdle, but he's carrying 12 stone that day. It was his seasonal return, first run after wind surgery. This is going to be more his cup of tea. He's getting £6 from the big guns. Protectorat is the best. I think Protectorat's the most likely winner, but I think Dussard is a bit of value. And one thing I like about 365 is the each way extra market that they offer up. So they're offering up 10-1 each way, 3 places Dussard, 6 runners a quarter of the odds. I quite like the look of that. I think it'll definitely be in the first 3. And if Protectorate does find the ground a little, not quite slow enough to his liking, then I think he's got a massive chance of actually winning. I'm not so keen on Noble Yates. He's not really done it at Cheltenham. I feel like he might be slightly overrated. A Horse in Yours been disappointing this season. So yeah, I think that's cracking on the each way. 3 places extra mark about Dusart.
6 due to go to post then. You've been told how to play the race with Dusart. And yeah, Protectorate's an interesting one. I guess this is his actual next step, isn't it? Where you've got Frodon, who would have gone to Taunton, had that not be off.
Yeah.
You've got Noble Yates, who was hoping to go to Lingfield. Let's move on from
It's
that
a good
one.
point, actually, yeah. It's a bit of an afterthought for a few of these.
And you've got a Horse in Your, who apparently they were happy with in the King George, although he dropped out like a stone for me off the home turn, and I don't think we've quite seen him at his best. The problem is for a Horse in Your, once again, seems to be Frodon, because Frodon's got one way of running. I think this is going to be a very, very popular Cotswold chase. Last year we had Chantry House, didn't we? Do you remember? And it was kind of like, and no one really liked the race much, and he only just beat. Was it Santini?
I was going to say it was Santini, and it
seems like a month ago.
Chantry House doesn't really kick on.
This
is a much better running, isn't it?
Yes.
We can't argue. It's 6 runners, but what a field. I mean, Dusart's the rank outsider, and I'll give him a big chance. That shows how strong the race is.
I am fascinated to see how Noble Yates does here. I am.
Oh yeah, you have to be.
I really, really
His
am.
profile's just so patchy.
And how was he going to go around Cheltenham? This is the acid test.
Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised they weren't coming in the first place, isn't it? Because he just didn't run well in the Ultimate.
Nah.
That was first run,
But he didn't run well in about 4 or 5 races last season, then went on and won the Grand National.
But the way he turboed up that many clouds chase, so that was very impressive for me. So, this is a tough one.
What's your selection, Matt?
I'd just side down on Noble Yates.
Would you?
I would.
Interesting,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think the turbo will kick in
I think Protectorate's fundamentally a better horse than Noble
We'll
Yates.
find out.
But we will
Kelsey's coming
find out.
round to him again, and Rodway thinks that Noble Yates is the Gold Cup winner. Tom Siegel's put up Noble Yates as
Really?
well. Anyway, look, we could keep going on.
I
What
disagree,
trade
but
this
good luck
is.
to him.
Yeah, all right, okay. So whichever way you want to play, Dusart seems to be the team each way bet on the extra with Bet365. Oh, it keeps coming back, doesn't it? Because at 3 o'clock, we got the Cleeve.
Yeah, the Cleeve Hurdle, and you go by what the past winners of this race. Well, the horse has won this the last 3 times. Paisley Park, and he's back again this time around. And who's not to say he's better than ever? So we try and get him beat every time he races. But he won very well at Kempton, didn't he? And we were all trying to get him beat because the track wasn't going to suit him. Again, being picky, you could say that Champ didn't run his race. But nevertheless, he's back in business. He's 11 years young, not old. And he's going to be tough to beat. Of course, he has the penalty to give away. But I think I would imagine he can win this on yet again and be 4 in a row, and we'll build a statue of him at Prestbury Park. But looking at the market against him, Gelino Bello, I can see that being a drifter in the market. He fell heavily last time over fences. This is perhaps an afterthought coming back here over hurdles. Maybe he could book his ticket for the Stayers Hurdle if he ran very well there. Dashel Drasher is, of course, the interesting horse, and he is getting £6 from Paisley Park. And the public love this horse. I would imagine he'd be the popular horse for money at prices, and we all know what he's going to do. And he's 10, and you could even say he's running to a career high at the moment. But I just keep coming back to Paisley Park, and I just think he's better than ever. So I can see him winning this for the 4th time.
Such fond memories, of course, for Team Ditcheat and Paul Nicholls, and they've just been having such good Saturdays, haven't they? Of course, with Big Bucks, and they went with Safford de Roe in the last 10 years as well. But I think Gelino Bello is one of the worst prices I've seen all season at 72. He was keen over fences last time. He's taken a fall. I don't like his novice form at Aintree.
Yeah, I can't see him giving £3 to Dashel.
But this is ding ding, round 2 for the anti-post.
Yeah, put him up at 9-2 start week, 3 places. You're getting 7-2 now, but again, I'm sort of I think he'll definitely be in the first 3. So each way extra on 365, you're getting 31-10 at a quarter. If you're accepting a small loss if you finish 2nd or 3rd, I think that's quite a good bet. It's one of my favourite horses around. I mean, Pat says he might be the horse for money because he's quite popular, but for some reason he always seems to be underestimating the market. He's so consistent, isn't he?
He's definitely one of the favourites now for everyone.
His last 2
Favourite
stops.
horses to follow. Is
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean.
absolutely. Yeah. He just keeps digging in.
I backed him last time. He came up against Marie's Rock, didn't I? Who I think probably has got an outstanding chance.
Yeah, definitely.
If she goes,
but that was a decent rail kill. I mean, the horses in behind him. You know, I like to move it. There was obviously like First Street. It was a good old race.
I think he's so tough.
He needs this 3-mile trip now, I think, to be at his best. He's still very unexposed over it. He's run to 162 in 2nd to Noble Yates last time. Paisley's got to give him £6. Paisley's we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna think he's going to make a lot of late ground, but will it be enough to reel in Dashel? I'm not sure.
I can tell you're passionate about this. It's great to hear it as well, because these older horses, as we know, guys, they're the ones that we love and the ones that really go out on their shield. He's probably lining up for another go at the Ascot Chase next month.
Do you reckon?
I think so. But you've put him up for the Stayers,
Yeah, I'll put him up for the Stayers. Yeah,
if he wins this, they're going to have to go Stayers.
Yeah, they are. It's his only entry at Cheltenham.
That's interesting.
Well, we know he likes a bit of. He's always liked a bit of cut in the ground, but
that is interesting.
I think that on good soft over 3 miles he's fine. Over 2.5 he'd find that too sharp.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw Tia Poo sort of spring to the top of the Stayers market.
Yeah, didn't we?
If
Make
Dashel
that
wins
was
this, then he's going to be sort of single figures, isn't he? And I actually do think he will win it.
You've got Molly Ollie's Wishes in there. Lord Accord, who's probably got it all fine. Very interesting French horse coming over for Gabriel Linders. Called Gold Tweet. Botox Hass is in there. And
one for producer Sam
He'll go
Hart.
better, I think. He'll go better.
Giulino Bellows.
He's got this weird social media following, Botox Hass. But again, look, probably national spirit again for him, isn't it? But I think Paisley will win. I just think this is one of the underrated clashes of the season.
Yeah, big
Paisley
time.
versus Dashel.
They're two absolute old warriors, and they've got very different styles of running. But you know they're going to be finishing well.
Yeah, if I finish second to Dashel, I'll just wipe my nose and move on. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're playing with that. Get your comments below. The previews continue, and now we go up to Doncaster. It is the Sky Bet Chase. It's always a cracker, this, Pat. Which way are you leaning?
Well, it's been a bit of a bookmaker's benefit in recent years. The last 2 winners have been 40-1, but I don't know. I just keep looking at Garlaw. He looks very, very solid to me. Okay, he's a 7-year-old carrying 12 stone, but he was very impressive winning at Cheltenham last time out. And if anything, he's probably going to be even better over this trip than he was last time out. So I think whichever way you play this race, if you fancy one each way at a price, I think it makes sense just to have a win saver on Garlaw. And I say that because the current second favourite, T for 3, we all love T for 3, 4 from 4 this season. But he started off this season off 105, and he's now off 138. So to go up £33, well, that's a feather in the cap of the connections there. But surely, the winning run has to come to an end sooner or later. The anti-post mover has been Captain Nord, and again, he's extremely well handicapped, this fella, based on what he'd done a few years ago. And when he ran on New Year's Day, he was going okay, made a bad mistake, 5 out, not recover. You worry there, as well handicapped as he is. Christian Williams, stable form. Whichever way you come at it, you're going to have to put a question mark by that as well. So I keep coming back to Garlaw thinking he might just be a very, very heavily back favourite this. One that catches my eye, miserable form figures, it must be said, R3P56, but cloth cap. I thought he showed a bit more last time out when he ran over the national fences. He's off a marker 138, that's very, very low. Back in October 2021, he was 156, so that's an £18 drop. And not often Brian Hughes rides for John Joe O'Neill, so he's an interesting one for me. He'll be a double-figure price. The way I'm going to play it, 1 point Garlaw, 1 point each way cloth cap, and I'll get a good run for my money.
Blimey, I asked you to tip her. You now give us pointed tips as well. Progression is everything in life, Pat. Great stuff. And the way Pat talks about it, he shows you what sort of handicap this is, isn't it? You can see Grand National winners in it. You can see something that maybe throws something in the hat in the ring for one of the biggies at Cheltenham. We've heard from Jamie. I got the sense from him, guys, didn't you, that he was pretty confident that that he's going to go well. If you watch back that Paddy Power Gold Cup, he needs the hill badly, and the form has worked out. French Dynamite would have given Fakir Dudaries a run had he not clouted the last. He was running a blinder last time in Grade 2 company. You've seen, of course, Midnight River come out. Il Rodotto, massive chance on Saturday. It's a strong Paddy Power Gold Cup. I just wonder whether he can give £12 to T for free, who I absolutely love. And we spoke to Charlie Longsford about this a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think they wanted him to lead at Newbury last time. He jumped so well. I backed him in the week. I got 12s in the week, yeah.
Nice.
And
I
didn't see this coming in so much. I've got a sneaky one here as well that I'm getting more and more confident about as it goes on. So I'm going to have some points on this as well. I think we can have 2 each.
Can we? Yeah, why not?
I'm going for T for free and Lily. I think Lily will pounce. And De Machine is very interesting. Look at his last run at Cheltenham. He got badly outpaced. I think it was in December, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was on New Year's Day, of course, behind Midnight River. Watch it back. Totally sure that Cheltenham's his track either. Flat tracks, he's mustered at. And he stays on strongly. Just as we're coming out on your members club, have a look at it, where we do your final or your closing stages. Just as they're about to get the camera off, he's coming back up the hill. Caelan Quinn's on taking 5 off. Kerry Lee, this is a sneaky one, I think. What price is De Machine, Pat?
De Machine is around about 14-1 at the moment.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah, he just disappointed this last season, though, didn't he?
I wouldn't worry too much about
no.
that. I think he's a better horse this time around. I think he struggled a bit last season. I think he had a few issues. He was a really good novice, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Town and things like that. Anyway, look, he's a sneaky one.
Interesting.
Yeah, who for you?
I was really enjoying my anti-postman this week. I had 3. This was rarity. I missed the coffee. I make a big prediction that he's going to win this, and then be about 3rd favourite for the National Hunt Chase off the back of it, and then Derek O'Connor is going to ride him. It's looking very far ahead.
Why is Derek O'Connor not in him now? I mean,
there's no JP McManus horses in the National Hunt Chase, and Nicky's turned to Derek before. But right, he's second season novice, isn't he?
He won it on OK Corral, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Breaking news, by the way, guys. Cheltenham goes ahead on Saturday.
That's good.
Happy days! I'm not filming that intro again.
That could have made our life a lot of hassle today. We don't need that. We want a nice, relaxing afternoon.
Because it's been frustrating, isn't it? But let's not go there. So you think
Mr.
OK
Coffee.
Corral Part 2 for Mr. Coffee?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no chance. He never wins.
It's each way bet, though, isn't it? I mean, we're getting 4 places. Right. Second to a novice form. There's a lot of good form there. Second to Kim Muir. Second to Long Press in the City.
How many puns do you want? Mr. Coffee does not pour it on. Mr. Coffee will keep you up at night. All right. I
don't have caffeine after 12, thankfully, mate.
All right.
But I mean, his comeback run at Shepsto's full of promise. That was a pretty decent little race. He just sort of blew up as if needing it. Nico's going to Doncaster rather than Cheltenham. I mean, maybe that's partly because Epatant's there, I guess.
I really fancied him last year. Was it Kim Muir?
Yeah. And he ran really well.
Do you remember Nicky came on this show and said, I think that's the steamer, and he was whacked right in. It was 14-1 with Nicky.
Yeah, he ran really well. He's unexposed.
Did he?
Unexposed as a stayer. I just think he's off a winnable mark, to be honest. And you're getting 4 places, so
all right. Okay, and then you're making the prediction he goes to National Hunt Chase.
Yeah, and then he's going to be 3rd favourite behind Chemical Energy and Gallard de Manil.
Like to set yourself a task, don't you? In this,
I do, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say anti-post betting's not what it was, but you do still find the angles, and we'll
I'll try my best, mate. I don't always come in, but.
Right, okay. One more left then, Pat. Let's go down to Presbury Park. It will be the final race on terrestrial television. It's the Ballymore trial at 3:35. We go from champion chasers, Gold Cup horses, potential national horses, to the unexposed novices.
Yeah, and this is going to take some winning as well, isn't it? Now, I know all the time gurus in our office, they're all over Pembroke, who clocked a really fast time and an impressive performance last time out at Ludlow. He's got a Racing Post rating of 149, which is pretty good currency. So he sets the benchmark. That's why he's favourite. This is going to be a tough race for him, though. That being said, the second favourite is Henri, the second of Paul Nicholls. That's around about 7-2 chance at the moment. But that has a penalty. So I think he's quite tough to fancy. Pembroke, I think, is short enough on balance. As spectacular as he was, a few of these horses would have put together a similar performance, I'm sure. I think Blenkinsop is a very interesting runner, Henry Daly. He won very impressively last time out. Maybe he's soft, heavy ground dependent. I don't know what the ground's going to be like, 3:35. But if it says soft still, I would imagine he'll be popular. The race will be run to suit. He was held up last time out, came through well to win. My eye's drawn to Rock My Way of Sid Hosey. Now, when he ran last time out, he was 66-1 behind We've All Been Caught of Nigel Twiston Davis. And then you do your sums. What price would We've All Been Caught be if he was running in this race? Well, he'd be near enough vying for favouritism. And this fella, Rock My Way, he was 66-1. And when I was watching the race, I'm thinking, God, he's running well for a no-hoper. Apologies to Connections. Clearly, he's a very smart horse. And We've All Been Caught took a long time going past him. So he's got an unexposed profile. I was a bit worried how a 5-year-old's fare in this race. Well, 5-year-olds actually have a decent record in this race. So apologise for underestimating Rock My Way last time out. I'm not doing that this time around. I can see him running a mighty race at his price.
Right, okay. Now, the reason why I'm looking down here, because a lot of people will be thinking, who is Sid Hosey? Well, of course, Sid has had his horses with various trainers over the years. He's taken over the stable himself. He's got a good team in there, and he does pull off some shocks. And this run, an absolute sledger, as the Irish would say, against We've All Been Caught, who I'm hoping he's going to boost his form, because this could be a rare British novice runner at the Dublin Festival, we're told. That's the Tristan Davis horse, the good thing that beat him on New Year's Day. Are we unanimous on this?
Oh yes, well we're going all three, are we?
We are.
Yeah, I just want to expand on that case about Rock My Way. I was thinking to myself actually just now, because he obviously turned 5 on New Year's Day. This race on New Year's Day. If it was a day early, he'd been getting loads of weight and probably won that. So anyway, he traded even money in running to beat We've All Been Caught. 23 lengths clear of the third. I don't know how good the horses are in behind. The third did come out and not run very well at the start of the week.
They pulled well clear though, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's his first run on the rules. He was the youngest horse in the race. Just ran brilliantly, and the conditions are. He's proved he handles Cheltenham. The ground's going to be quite similar. I mean, he's 4th favourite, which I don't know. That looks an each way bet to me. I did hear recently that Blenkinsop is a non-runner.
Yeah,
so
he's
maybe
been called a non-runner. Sorry, Pat.
So,
I was going to say that we've just
Yeah.
seen that come through. So the market has adjusted itself slightly, I would imagine, but not much.
I was looking at him with 365, thinking 7-1, like core. So, but he's going to be shorter now because Blenkinsop was shorter. But yeah,
I mean, Sid Hosey, isn't it?
Yeah.
With all due respect, he's not going to be back like the Nichols horse or the.
It's
or
true,
the
yeah. I
Scout
mean,
horse.
we might still get an each way price about him.
Yeah.
If so, he looks an absolute shoo-in to finish in the
Yeah.
3. I mean, the 2 at the top are interesting, but
The penalty would worry me about Henri II, like
Yeah.
Pat said. He might even yet end up in the boys' race at Cheltenham.
And again,
as we
Pembroke
call it.
after thought because he was going to go in the Rossington Main, wasn't he? And now
Yeah,
he's
that-
going 2.5 miles.
And same as the Sandy Thompson horse as well, who
Yeah.
looks very progressive
Yeah, exactly,
as well.
yeah.
I'm a fan of Pembroke's. I think I will. I'm going to go with Sid as well. We're all going for the Sid, yeah?
Good luck to him, yeah. I mean, Barry Connell's come out and started training horses as an owner and done quite well. So let's hope Sid can as well.
Take the bull by the horns. Oh, all on Sid Hosey in the last. Okay, really enjoy those race previews. Hopefully you did too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. Get them in below. Loving the comments on What a Shout the last couple of weeks. And you know, I look at them out there and try and respond as much as I can. Can you do that one time? Maybe answer a few people
Look
out
at
there?
the comments. I don't like being slagged off though, mate. Actually, I do.
Listen,
That's a
listen.
complete lie. I do like being slagged
Do
off.
you? Don't tell them that. Whatever you do.
Wilder says bring it on.
But Wilder says bring it on. Let's bring on your nap then.
Let's do it. 12-10 at Cheltenham in the Novice Handicap Chase. Fire Dancer. Rich Ritchie, Venetia Williams. Very interesting profile. Returned from 815 days off at Ludlow a few weeks ago. Won on his stable debut for Williams and since Rich bought him. He kept jumping out to his left that day, would have found the track sharp enough, and he's now going back left-handed. He looked thrown in on his French form. I mean, he beat like Capodanno a couple of years ago. He's obviously a Grade 1 winning novice. He's off 120 now, off £6 high. He's bottom weight here. Bit of slower ground is going to help. I'd just be surprised if there was a better handicapped horse in the race than him.
He's only up
There's a
6,
lot of
isn't he?
options.
I
Yeah,
backed
he's
him
up
that
6,
day.
yeah.
He was thought to be quite a buzzy horse, I think, for them, and it was all about whether he settled down. And Charlie got him out in front, didn't he? And you're right, he gave away lengths, but the right horse pushed him to the line. They came well clear. I like him.
It's
as
a good
well,
little race, yeah.
Venetia targets
I
this
just think
race.
you're going to see a better performance this time, and you'd be shocked if he wasn't much better than 120.
Wilder's tipping a fav. There you go. I'm afraid I'm going to carry on because I think Il Rodotto will go off fav in the 150. And I think he deserves to. They're chucking on the cheap pieces. I'm not totally sure he needs them, but it's only going to help. They were a bit too prominent last time behind old rival Midnight River. This handicap form at Cheltenham is working out spectacularly. Just hold on to him a little bit longer, connections. He'll fly up and he'll get that done in the 150. Now, we've gone at Cheltenham. Are you going to... Oh, no. Here we go. Where's he going?
I'm going to the 342 at Utoxeter, or as the locals call it, Utopia. And I'm going for the Lucinda Russell horse.
What a line.
You've got to be a local. You've got to
you
be
just
a
made that-
Staffordshire.
you just
a
made that up just
Staffordshire-
now.
A Staffordshire Butte there to call it. Okay, all right. Look, we love you, Toxeter. What's going to win 342?
Number 6, Your Own Story, Lucinda Russell. He stays all day, this fella. They dropped him down to 3 miles last time out. He got beat by a very much in-form Irish horse who beat him handily enough, but he was plugging on well. He goes back up in trip today, and it's a rating of 117. He was on that last time out. And he's down to a Class 4 from a Class 3. So 342 at Utopia, Your Own Story.
For Lucinda Russell, if you'd have said friend of the show, we'd have all shouted bingo, Pat, I think. So, but of course she is. All right, there you go. There they are. Call them what you want. They're our biggest hopes this weekend. So there we are. all we've got time for on this weekend's What a Shout. Really enjoyed that, actually. Hopefully you guys did too. Remember, it's all free content here at the Racing Post. Brought to you by our sponsors, Bet365. Dave Orton signing off. Before I go down the panel, remember there is a members club offer out there for you. Let's get it up on the screen. There you go. Stay ahead of the field. Get your first month for free. What a time to do it. Festival's coming, guys. You want all the best stuff up there. Unlimited access. 9 o'clock, of course, the digital edition. Get it before it comes out in the shops if you like to still fill that paper. You're looking at me funny. Why?
I just thought Pat murmuring.
You can hear Pat, mate. He's a bit. No. He's probably like, where's our promo? Yeah, absolutely. Pat, been great to have you. We always have a laugh each week. Now, you're not going to be with us next week, of course, because fingers crossed, you'll be driving across the border.
Yes, we sponsor 2 days at Musborough. Always love going there. That being said, I normally like going there on a train, but that plan has been scuppered. So, yeah, it's about a 5-hour drive. But once you're there, you thoroughly enjoy it. They really look after us. So, big weekend. We got Dublin, Western Festival. But Musborough is a pretty tasty card in its own right.
It's always an absolute pleasure to have you every Friday morning, Pat, and we'll see you up there, hopefully. Fingers crossed the weather there. Can see the sun is shining in Stoke. The sun has shone then at Cheltenham. 7:30 inspection. We are here now in precautionary. Whatever happens, we're hearing Sunday's a no-go. So let's get it on tomorrow. The weather gods are in our favour at the moment. Is it going to be on?
Let's do it, boy. I think so, yeah.
All right, okay.
Fingers crossed there.
All right.
Let's have a good
Listen,
weekend.
that was a good show today.
Enjoyable, mate.
You're passionate about these plays.
Yeah, I've not looked forward to a card so much in quite a while, actually.
All right, great
so,
stuff.
Yeah, it should be a good day. I think I might actually give myself a gift and turn the heating on in my flat as well tomorrow.
What, for the first time?
For the first time this year.
I'm
feeling generous.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's warm up then with the naps out there. Get them in below. That's what we want to see. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Keeps the lights on here on What a Shout. So, gamble responsibly this weekend, guys. That's what it's all about. For myself, Dave Orton, enjoy the sport.